Welcome back to Rising Phoenix Oracle. I am T the Oracle. Thank you for tuning in for another reading. All right, so as you can see by the title, we're going to go ahead and start off talking about Monique, the comedian Monique. I know everybody has seen her in the blogs and just kind of in social media this past week because she did her interview on the platform. You know, I'm gonna say the name, but y'all know the platform, and you can go watch it if you want to. I didn't watch the interview. I just saw snippets of it here and there. Really didn't even pay attention to the snippet, but I do know basically same thing Cat Williams did. She's letting her truth be known. And one thing about it, Monique has been letting her truth be known for a very long time. And when she first started to do so, people wanted to silence her. They tell her she need to play the game. She need to be quiet. You know, to me, this is just my personal opinion. You can have another opinion. You can disagree with me. I really don't care. But everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I feel as if when a woman speaks her mind, when she speaks how she feels and speaks on what has happened to her, which is her truth, people telling her she needs to be quiet. She needs to learn how to be quiet. She needs to be silenced. She's bitter. But if a man stand on business, you know, he's standing on business. He letting it be known. He telling his truth. But a woman, a lot of times she's bitter or she needs to move on. You know, I don't agree with that. I just really don't. I see the one-sidedness. Now, do I agree with everything Monique says? No. Do I agree with everything Cat Williams said? No. But I'm just singling out what I see and from my understanding. And I just don't like that. I don't like how there is an obvious difference between men and women when women choose to speak up for themselves. We're not going to get into that. It's already been 2 minutes. So let's go on and get into it. I just had to say that because that's how I feel. What's going on with Monique? So we're just going to go general first and see what the cards reveal. And then, one card popped out already. Let's just go on and put this right here. Let's continue shuffling. Like I said, we just want to do general, see what's going on with her, and then we'll go from there if need be. All right, what's going on with Monique? One more shuffle. All right, let me pull 2 more cards. So the first card that had popped out, this one is in reverse. It says victim reversed. Now, what's going on with Monique right now? She is singing like a hummingbird, okay? And she's been doing that for a while, but at this point, I think at this particular time in this year, you know, Cat Williams has opened the door, first of all, at the end of the year. We talk about Diddy and all the stuff that happened. This is like the time and the age of everybody being exposed for you being fraud, for you being fake, for you lying to the masses and to the people about who you really are, especially if you have negatively affect people and their lives, their emotional state, their spiritual state. You have affected people negatively for so many years, it's finally catching up. Right? So then we had that, you know, at the end of the year, and it's a lot more still coming out. Then we had Cat Williams at the top of the year, and he just started exposing, telling the truth. And I think that energy helped to motivate a lot of other people to come out and just speak their truth. Now, Monique was able to get on a bigger platform, if you would call Club Shay Shay a bigger platform, right? She's able to corroborate what she's been saying for many years, but now it's lining up with other people have been saying. But at first, people were telling her she needed to be quiet or learn how to play the game, or, you know, you can't say certain things, you're exposing things in the industry. And of course, that did hurt her because she was doing that, exposing a lot. However, you know, she refused to not speak her, refused to not stop speaking her truth, if that makes sense. So at this point in time right now, she's like, baby, I'm going to sing like a hummingbird. I'm going to scream it to the mountaintops. If it's my truth, I'm going to continue to say it. And this is the time. Okay. So is she a victim? Has she been a victim of certain circumstances? Yes, in the industry. And some big names that y'all already know. A media mogul, a former talk show host, creator of movies. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I ain't gonna say their names. Right. She has been a victim. However, she does not see herself in that way at this point. I think at certain point in time she did. And of course, with anybody dealing with something, especially since she's in the public eye and on a larger scale, it took a toll on her. But I think she did have support from her husband. And she's a very strong individual. And not to say that strong people do not have their downfalls, they do not have their moments, because they do. A lot of people think because you're strong, then, you know, you don't hurt like other people, or you able to take these blows. No, you feel just like everybody else. You try to keep it together more and hide it from people, but you still feel just like everybody else. So she went through it. However, at this point in time, does she feel like she's a victim? No, she's going to speak her truth, because speaking her truth every time, especially to the masses, for everybody to hear, it sets her free every single time. She feel like she's set free when she tells the truth. She's not hiding it. Release. Y'all see that here? That goes hand in hand with that, not being a victim. You know, remember I said at a period of time, it was looking dark for her. Things, you know, opportunities closed for her. She wasn't able to make her livelihood as she should. She's an actress. She's a comedian. So her livelihood, her financial state could have been a lot more better if she played the game. However, she decided not to. And there's a thin line. There's few actresses or actors or people in the entertainment industry that know how to walk that fine line where they still kind of play the game but still don't compromise themselves too much. It's a fine line that you got to walk. But Monique is the type of person that's just like, nah, I ain't doing that ish. You know, I'm from Baltimore. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm going to keep it real. I'm not doing that ish. That's weird. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not compromising my integrity. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? So it's been a long time coming for her. She had to build herself back up, because this did tear her down. It did tear her down for a point in time. So don't think it didn't. Behind closed doors, she was battling. It really took a toll on her. It really did. And you see this release card right here? You see in the cemetery around all these dead people? And this is how she felt too. You see how this person here is standing, looks like in a cemetery with tombstones, it's raining, it's cloudy, and she's just like in a sea of just like dead people, people who are, you could say, have sold their souls, have agreed to do what the machine wants them to do to advance in this entertainment industry. It's like a whole lot of walking deads. It's a lot of people who are being controlled by the machine, being controlled by Hollywood. She has always just wanted to be free. She didn't want to have to live her life and her career as being attached to the machine, where everything she does has to be approved by them, and she can't naturally be herself. You could look at it as this. A lot of people who are in sports, athletics, and they get these endorsements. Because they have these endorsements, you are literally employed by these huge corporations who are using you as a brand ambassador to sell their items. So because they are paying you such a large amount of money to represent them and to pretty much advertise their merch to the masses, you have to represent them. You have to represent their ideology. You can't do certain things. You can't say certain things. You can't speak your mind, especially if it goes against what they represent. That's control. And that's something that Monique did not agree with. And so, of course, she didn't have endorsements. Of course, she didn't have a lot of things that other people were able to leverage and to be able to elevate themselves financially with their career, not just with acting, but with these endorsements as well. Because that's how a lot of, you know, celebrities and athletes make a lot of their money through endorsements. Of course, they get a salary. However, the endorsements are what brings in. That's just like for musicians, the money don't make shit. But going out on tour, selling merch and all that stuff, that's what brings in the money. You know, if you ain't signed no bad contract with that as well. But yeah, and then you have this passion card. See this passion card right here? It feels like for her, I feel like she, how can I say this? She wants to be a good representation, and she's carrying the torch. She's very, very big on representation, carrying the torch and representing her ancestors. You know what I mean? In a good light. Like, what I do represents me. It represents my people. It represents my lineage. It represents me and my people as a whole, people that look like me. I can't do certain things because that just goes against my ethics. It goes against my morals. It goes against me, you know, like deep down inside in my DNA. And she's very, very passionate about how we are being represented. And that's very important to her. And her reputation is important too. Even if people see her in a certain type of light, as long as she's able, like I said before, to speak her truth, that's what allows her to sleep at night. That's what allows her to feel good about herself, is because she's not compromising her integrity and that she is doing what she feels to be right in a situation. That allows her to sleep at night because she has a soul, she has a conscience, okay? And that's what's going on with her. And I feel like for her, I don't know if she was close to like a grandmother or a great aunt or someone like that. I feels like that's like an ancestor that either she feels connected to, that she feels that particular ancestor feels proud. Sorry for shaking, shaking this the video. She feels like she is representing them well and she makes them proud. It's some ancestor. It feels like it's a great grandmother or a great aunt or someone. It doesn't feel like it's a parent or anything like that, but a great grandmother or a great aunt or someone that she feels close to, or that's watching over her, and they're proud of the way that she's handled herself thus far. Yeah. What's next for Monique though? Like, is her star going to continue to rise? Is she going to is speaking out going to hinder her, or is her career going to continue to rise? Let's see. Let's go with this deck here. Yeah. Will speaking out hinder her career, or will this help her? Will speaking out hinder her career, or is this not gonna do anything? It'll help her and she'll just continue to move on and progress. But she had been at a standstill for a minute though. She had been at a standstill for a minute. She had to take a break from the industry because it just wasn't no good and it wasn't working for her. They blackballed her. It wasn't gonna work. But she did still have her like core fan base of people who supported her. Go for it, reverse. Isolation, reverse. Take a leap. So we'll start right here. If we take a look at these three cards, you know, will this particular interview that she did on this platform, will that hinder her progress in her career, or what's gonna happen in regards to that? What I see right now is with these three cards, it's not gonna hurt her. I feel like this is her time now. It's been some years. This is her time. This is, I would say, over the last couple years, she's come out a lot more. Of course, on her social media. I do follow her on her social media. I'm not on social media as much, but I see that, you know, she's consistent with her exercise and her health and different things like that. So she's still being seen. And like I said, she still has her core fan base. And so is this going to hinder her career where it kind of like shuns her and kind of pushes her out? No, she still has her core fan base, and I believe she's gonna still have opportunities for her. At this point in time, how the cards are falling, and a lot of the big players in the industry are being exposed, and now it's their downfall. It's almost like their downfall now is her rise. And so I feel as if she, with specific opportunities for her, I feel like, of course, certain doors will still be closed. However, it won't affect her as much in a negative way, especially her finances. She's going to have opportunities to build her finances. So she's going up from here, but it's going to be specific. It's not like the whole world is her oyster and she could be able to move here and do this and do that and blah blah blah, because of course she's still not technically playing the game. However, you know how sometimes the black sheep rises, or the underdog wins and they rise up because people love to support the underdog or someone, you know, who has been through it. You know, you tend, if someone has been here and then they fell here and then you see them rise again, or you see how they've overcome their circumstance, people tend to support them more. And I do see more and more support for her. Of course, you still gonna have your naysayers. You still gonna have people that just don't like her. However, like I said, she still has her core fan base, and she's able to connect with the people. People can feel her. And now, more importantly, since everything is falling out, the bottom is falling out, the cards are being laid on the table, people are saying, Monique wasn't lying all these years. You see how sometimes it takes all these years for you to be vindicated? Like, a lot of people are saying she wasn't lying. Think about when Taraji came out and said what happened on the set of Color Purple with that media mogul who produced it or put her money behind it or whatever it was. Now, y'all see what Monique was saying a long time ago. Now, I'm reading social media, every comment, Monique wasn't lying. When Monique said, what was everybody? I mean, I know people was behind her. Like, I was behind her. I believed her. But there were a lot of people like, why don't you just be quiet, Mr. Harvey? You got to play the game, Whoopi. You know what I mean? So, yeah, she's going to have her opportunities take a leap. What's for her is for her. And that's what I see here. I think that's about it. I'm going to keep it there. If y'all want a part 2 and you got questions, just leave it in the comment section and then we could do a part 2 to this. But, you know, just with this general card reading, that's what I see with Monique right now. So it's up. It's up for her. This is her time. And what's for her, that's what she gonna have.